All right. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Branko. I'm a student business and information systems engineering here at KU Leuven, and together with my colleague Yannick, I will introduce you to consulting projects within Emergent this evening. So, what will I talk about to you this evening? So, first, I'm going to explain to you what is Emergent. In short, you probably already know a little bit because you're here. And then I will take a deep dive into Emergent Student Consulting, who we are, what we do, who are our partners. And then Yannick will guide you through what projects we do have to offer. And then I will try to convince you why you should participate in one of our projects. So basically, what is Emergent? We are the student organization in Leuven based around everything that has to do with data science and AI. And we try to bring together students from all kinds of fields like engineering, statistics, data science, business engineering, everyone with even the slightest interest in data science and AI. We have 5 kinds of events. So first we have the workshops. Every semester we try to organize some interesting workshops. Like, for example, we have a data cleaning workshop coming this semester, and I think this might be very interesting for you as well if you participate in a consulting project. Then there are our talks. Like, for example, tomorrow we have the Creating Value with Data event hosted by Google. But we also have other talks coming up this semester. Then there are our challenges. The most important event we have, our flagship event is the Data for Good challenge, where we try to tackle the socio-economic problem using data and data science and AI. And then we even take it a step further with our consulting projects, but more on that later. And lastly, we also have our career events, where we try to help you kickstart your career in data science and AI. So, what is Emergent Student Consulting? How does it work? Well, actually, we try to represent it with this triangle that actually represents the 4 stakeholders we have with Emergent Student Consulting. And in the middle, as you can see, there is us, Emergent, and we try to bring together 3 stakeholder groups: students, clients, and partners. And first there are the students, which is you, and we hope that we convince you tonight to join one of our projects, and then you will tackle a real business case coming from one of our clients. So this is an actual company providing us a business case, something that they need to deploy inside their company. But you won't be doing it alone. You will get support from Emergent, but also from the experts from our partners. So these are real data scientists, experts in the field that will help you to reach an end-to-end solution to the problem. This is the consulting team. So if you have any questions afterwards, you can come to us. So there's Simon, Yannick, Dionys, Julie, and I. And we will try to make sure that everything goes fluently during these projects. Now, who are our partners? You might be wondering. Well, let's take a look. So first we have HighMind. HighMind has been our partner the previous year as well. The coach from HighMind will be Simon Knudde, and he's also here in the audience, and he will be happy to answer all your questions for him during the reception afterwards. It was a very good experience last year, and I'm sure they will do great again. HighMind really tries to help you unlock your full data potential as a client, so I'm sure they will bring this to you as well. Then our second partner is B12 Consulting. It's a consulting firm from Louvain-la-Neuve, but they also have a lot of knowledge about deploying artificial intelligence algorithms. And the coach for B12 will be Mihailo Bakovic, and they will also guide a really interesting project. And then third, last but definitely not least, is Möbius. Möbius is a consulting firm from St. Martens-Latem. They're a business consulting firm, but they also have a branch dedicated to data and artificial intelligence. They try to translate data into relevant insights, and they are very, very good at statistical modeling. That's one of their main expertises, but more on that later, as we will also see it in one of our projects. So these are the partners, and now I give the floor to Yannick, who will tell you more about the projects we have in store for you.
Good evening, everyone. Let's start with the thing what's the most important for this evening, like the projects. That's why you're here, and also for the fee booths. Let's start with the first project, which is the Comproved project. We're talking about a company who is doing peer assessment in education. And it's like, I'm doing the presentation and afterwards all of you give me an assessment. So in the end, I will be quoted on all different kinds of parameters, but every time it's just like a text file. So we have like a huge matrix of all text files, and we will do some natural language processing on that. So in the end, you can, or the teacher, I, can assess how well I did based on, for example, the 5 major pros and the 5 major cons on my presentation, whether you like structure or not. So this has to be, in the end, like in a user-friendly tool. We're talking about a PDF. The client wants a PDF file that states those 5 major pros and cons, and the partner for this will be B12 Consulting. When we're talking about the second client, we're talking about Limecraft, which is all about video and imaging, and more specifically about subtitling those videos and images. But the project isn't about these automated subtitles, it's about the users, because they want to know who those users are and have some like real actionable insights on that user data, and therefore we'll have to do the data analysis on that and create the dashboard to really see those actionable insights that we know, like, oh, how many time did they actually spend on our platform? How many hours of recording did they actually subtitle? Like now that happens just in an Excel file, but that's a little bit old-fashioned, so we need to get that straight, and we'll do that with a fresh new dashboard. The partner for this one is HighMind, since they have a lot of expertise in the data science, in data analysis, and also because they have their experience also with working with smaller data sets. So actually we're talking here about those very few media companies. So we're talking about a small data set, but a lot of freelancers also. So that was it for the second project. And then there is the third one, which is CSI Business Consulting, a consulting firm, and actually the end user will be an airline company. And as you probably know, in the airline industry, when there is a little delay, it has an impact on every single piece of the airport, and so it generates a lot of costs. Do we need another crew? Do we need another plane? Is it worth having a new plane, or do we just let them wait and fill up the seats? All those kind of costs need to be, we need to identify those and do some analysis on that. Also, we're talking about a lot of data cleaning, so that's why the workshop could be very handy, because the airline company is actually providing the data. It's also about public data, but it will be like an iterated process where we will get the data, see whether it captures what we wanted to capture, then send it back, ask for more data on certain parameters, get it back, and redo. Also, when we're talking about the statistical modeling, because we're talking about the estimated cost of delay, we're going to do it in an iterated process where we will gradually build up the quality of this model. The partner for this will be Mobius, since they have a lot of experience in those operations modeling. It's definitely one of the most challenging projects that we're offering you, but we think that with the help of Mobius and their operation model expertise, and also with the consultants of CSI Business Consulting, that it's still realistic to do so. So that were the projects. I'll give the floor back to Branko. I hope at least one of these projects like triggered your interest, and yeah, see you later. Grab a drink together and talk a little bit.
All right, thank you, Yannick, for that. Now that you've seen these 3 very interesting projects, why should you actually participate, and how does it go participating in a consulting project at Emergent? So basically, there are 3 main reasons why I believe you should definitely participate. And the first one is these 3 projects are real technical challenges, and it's a good opportunity to actually put the theory you see in classes into practice and actually do something instead of just learning and gathering theory. You can actually build a real ML model, you can actually build a real dashboard to solve these problems. Next to that, it's also a very good consulting experience. I know a lot of people wonder how it is to be a consultant. What is the consulting life? Well, by doing a consulting project is the best way to know if it's something for you. And that's why I definitely recommend doing a project with us. But next to that, you also get the partner contact. You can ask them about advice on how they perceive the consulting life, what they like about it, and maybe they can even get you a job. And then lastly, as I already said, maybe you can get a job. Networking is very important here. You will get to know other like-minded students with an interest in data science and AI. You will get to know the partner. You will also get to know everyone at Emergent. And of course, we are very interested in data science and AI. So I think it's a very good opportunity to actually get to build up your network. Now, what can you expect from our projects? Well, we will divide you in teams of around 5 students based on which product interests you the most or which fit we see that is best. And the project will last for 8 weeks. And in these 8 weeks, you will work around 6 hours average per week on the project. But this includes everything. So this includes the client contact, this includes getting advice from your partner, this includes the weekly team meeting you'll have, but also the coding you do at home. And it also includes the workshops and team buildings that we will provide with Emergent. In a very busy week, I would say that it takes up to 10 hours max. This is mostly when there is like a deadline you have due, for example, the end event, because at the end of the journey, you also get to present your findings to the bigger public and also to your client, of course. These are a few examples of some testimonials of last year. If you want to read them, we will definitely put it online as well. But maybe one that I want to point you out is from Javi, who participated in the health tech-based project. It was a very interesting project. I participated in it as well. And it was about a group of health tech enthusiasts that gathered data about health tech. And actually, Javi is now working in a healthcare company as a data engineer. So you really see that by putting things into practice, it helps you get a job. I was really glad that he had the experience to test if the industry interested him and if the consulting life interested him. So what is our timeline? Basically, first there is the application deadline, which is on October the 9th. You can find on our socials how to apply. You have to fill in a Google form, but you can also find it on the QR at the top. If you fill it in, then we will let you know if you're welcome for the interviewing group case, which will be on October 11th and October 12th. So basically what we do in the interview, we have a one-on-one with you and talk about your expectations, what are your interests, what are your strong and weak points. And in the group case, we check how you function in a team and how you will tackle a small data-related problem. You should definitely not be afraid of this. The group case is really doable even without much prerequisite knowledge. Then there is a team building. If you are selected for one of our teams, then we would like to invite you on October the 14th for team building. And then there will also be a first workshop where we will introduce you to one of the topics that will be very important in your project. And then lastly, on October the 18th, there is a kickoff where there is your actual first meeting with your team where you actually kick off your project. So this is everything about the consulting projects, but there are also some other things that I would like to point your attention to, such as our event of tomorrow, for which you can still register. It's the Creating Value with Data event, where Google will talk about how they leverage the power of AI and how they actually use algorithms to create value with data. And then Semetis will take a deep dive on it by actually presenting one of their cases, one of the use cases they had using data science and AI. And then there are our socials. Now that it's working again, you can follow us on Instagram or contact us on Facebook. And we also have a LinkedIn. So you can find there all the information on the consulting projects as well. If you have any questions, and of course on how to apply. And then lastly, there is our Facebook community group, which you can also find on this slide. The community group is not a group where we will spam you with our commercials. This is actually a group especially for you, people who are interested in data science and AI. In the community group, there will be blog posts about interesting topics in AI, but you can also ask questions there. Maybe if you have a question on something that you're struggling with your thesis or with a coding project, this is the place. And if you're not in it for that, maybe you're in it for the memes. So all memes related to data science and AI are welcome there. I'll try to post some of them myself. I hope you think they're funny. So I definitely recommend scanning the QR right now. All right. And then this is it. So now I would like to invite you to the hallway, and then we can have a reception with some free booths. So I'm happy to see you there, and if you have any questions, please come to us.